Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Carlos McMillan Fuentes. I am the president of the board of the Sacramento Community Concert Association, and I am so proud to present to you once again the flutist, composer, and educator, Laurel Zucker. We're very, very excited to have you here today. How are you doing today?
I'm doing great, and thank you for the lovely intro.
It is my pleasure. We are very happy to have you here and hear a little bit about your experiences with these composers and this incredible music. So, a little bit about Miss Zucker, if you don't know. She can be heard regularly on worldwide classical radio stations. She's performed many times at Carnegie Hall, Kennedy Center, Alice Tully Hall, Avery Fisher Hall, Mondavi Center, and so many more. As a concert soloist, she has been featured with orchestras across America and Italy and Budapest, Russia, and here at home with the Sacramento Philharmonic. She's active as a chamber musician and a published composer with works distributed by several publishers. She's an active supporter of the flute community and currently serves as professor of flute at California State University in Sacramento. So we are thrilled that you are here sharing your time and your talents with us, and let's get started. So I understand you want to share with us a little bit about the composer Undine Smith Moore.
Yes, I do, because she's one of the greatest composers that has ever lived, and it was my honor to be able to play her African-American Suite for flute, cello, and piano. Just a little bio on her. Undine Eliza Anna Smith Moore was born August 25th, 1904. She passed on February 6th, 1989. And she was dubbed the Dean of Black Women Composers. She was an American composer, a professor of music in the 20th century, and she originally trained as a classical pianist, but then developed such a huge output of mostly vocal music that she really is known now as a great composer. Towards the end of her life, she received so many awards for her accomplishments as a music educator. One of the aspects of her that really meant a lot to me was that she was very outspoken on her thoughts surrounding the civil rights movement and the impact it had on her music. In her youth, Moore experienced the full effect of the Jim Crow era. And looking back on her life, here is a quote from her. "One of the most evil effects of racism in my time was the limits it placed upon the aspirations of Blacks, so that I have been making up and creating music all my life. In my childhood or even in college, I never would have thought of calling myself a composer or aspiring to be one." Another little quote, "All liberation is connected. As long as any segment of the society is oppressed, the entire society must suffer." And of course, this is very much part of what's going on in the world today, all over the planet. She said also, "I use the term Black music to describe music created mainly by people who call themselves Black and whose compositions in their large or complete body show a frequent use of significant elements derived from the Afro-American heritage. Black music is, in its simplest and broadest terms, simply music written by a Black person." In 1924, the Juilliard School granted Moore their first ever scholarship to a student not at Juilliard, but at the Fisk University, which allowed her to continue her undergraduate studies. Moore actually graduated cum laude in 1926. After she received her bachelor degree, her teachers encouraged her to continue her studies by enrolling at the Juilliard School. But instead, Undine Smith Moore took a job as a supervisor of music in the public schools in Goldsboro, North Carolina. In 1927, Moore was hired as a piano instructor and organist at the Virginia State College, now known as the Virginia State University in Petersburg, where she was also assigned classes in counterpoint and theory, which she would eventually become very renowned for. In 1969, Undine Smith-Moore and Altona Trent Johns became the co-founders of the Black Music Center at Virginia State University, which aimed to educate members about the contributions of Black people to the music of the United States and also the world. Aside from teaching, Moore considered this center to be her most significant accomplishment. She has been awarded so many awards, so I'll just name a few. She was presented in 1973 with the Humanitarian Award from this university. And in 1975, she was labeled Music Laureate of the state of Virginia. And the National Association of Negro Musicians named her an outstanding educator. So at 84 in 1989, Undine Smith-Moore suffered a stroke and passed on. And in fact, one of the composers that we will be hearing later, Adolphus Hailstork, wrote I Will Lift Up Mine Eyes in 1989 to commemorate her life and all of her gifts to the world.
Wow. That is incredible. What a legacy. Thank you for sharing that information with us.
You're welcome.
That is beautiful. Well, now let's enjoy a little of her music. Today we're going to listen to the Afro-American Suite, which is scored for flute, cello, and piano in 4 movements. The Allegro Molto e marcato, Adagio ma appassionato, and Allegro Molto. The performers here, of course, are Laurel Zucker on flute, John Cozza as pianist, and Jia-mo Chen as cellist. So we're going to mute ourselves and allow you to enjoy this incredible music. Fabulous, fabulous. Bravo. What incredible music. How moving.
It's incredible.